Hi everybody, welcome to Quarter Inch Seam. I'm Angela, you're in my sewing room. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I've been dying to get in here and sew all day, but I've been stuck doing the housework. But that's okay because now it's done. I don't mind it. I don't. I think for this block, so I'm still working today. I'm working on split bars. I'm going to do one more block on the split bars. And then later this week, I'll show you all 9 blocks, and then we'll move on to the next step. But tomorrow, on our live, I'm hoping to pull out. Do you guys have a project like this? Hours cutting this stuff, and then started working on it, and yeah, whatever. This is the pattern by Jordan Fabrics. Why am I yelling? This is the pattern by Jordan Fabrics. Hang on. That we're gonna work on tomorrow. Where did my pattern go? How's everybody doing? Oh, I'm doing okay. It was a week. I'm not gonna lie. She was a doozy. She was a doozy. It's not a trip around the world, although that is what I want to do. Lord have mercy, what did I do with the pattern? Well, that's going to be a dampener because I don't know what I'm doing without it. Oh, Angela. That's what my mom would say. Angela. Oh, Ange. I think this is diamonds squared. Where's the ones I've sewn? Okay, so clearly I have some work to do before we come in for our live tomorrow. But don't miss it. Don't miss our live. And this pattern, which I think is diamond squared. I use this great calf fabric. Oh, it's fantastic. So tomorrow we're going to work on that. We're going to put the split bars down, and tomorrow we're going to work on that. Today, I'm going back to split bars just for a little bit. Excuse me, don't go anywhere. Sewing matching pair. Okay. For some reason, I was looking at this morning, and I was like, I don't think that's right, but it is. So, okay, so today I'm going to do these two. Ha 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 ha. Woo! Okay, so after this, I got to go water my fruit trees because supposedly we're getting a little more chilly weather out here this week. Just for a couple of days. But which is going to be difficult, I'm not going to lie, because today it was 82. I know. I don't understand it here in Florida. Uh, it's more of we have all the seasons in the span of like a few weeks. Okay. A lot of people don't like when there's the pinked edge. I love the pinked edge. I feel like it gives me a little bit more forgiveness. And I just let that ride along. It also helps me when I'm lining stuff up. I like a pinked edge. Alright, so, excuse me. Okay, there's one. Now let's do the other one. Hello. Weird message on here. I don't want. Okay. Let's get the second one on here. Anyway, so I gotta go and water my fruit trees because it's just been really, really, really warm this week. And we're supposed to get a bit of a cold snap, I think, like Monday night, Sunday night going into Monday morning. But I gotta be honest with you. I am not covering again. I am not covering my trees again or my plants. They all took a beating. Oh gosh. In this last big like 2 week storm that we had, and I can't cover them anymore. It makes me crazy. Takes forever, and everything's already. But I was glad everything's already pretty much burnt. But I was glad that I didn't trim everything back yet. In fact, I was going to do it this weekend, and then the nursery near us said that we were going to get more cold weather, so I'm just going to wait. I'll let the stuff that's burnt kind of protect the, because the stuff is growing, like down inside, you can definitely see stuff growing. A little bit of a hair crisis today. Okay, so so the fourth, cut both strip studs in half, press toward the darker fabric. I gotta remember where I'm putting all this extra stuff because, like you're cutting and you're sewing, and then it's like, okay, do this and then put this aside, and then do this and then put that aside, and I'm like, okay. Hey Einstein, why don't you just cut on the fold mark from the? Gosh. Okay. We're going to need the table, and we're going to need the iron. More sets. Okay, so let's press this open. Press these open, and then we will. There. That way you can see me, and I can reach the iron. Press them to the dark side. Stay away from the dark side. Luke, I am your father. No, sorry. Never mind. Okay. Okay, let me tell you something else that's been happening. And it just happened right now. Anybody that tells you that, like, all these different devices, you know, you have the Amazon devices and the Apple devices and the Google devices. Anybody that tells you that they're not listening is full of patootie. I had a call, a business call earlier this week that I recorded on my phone. Okay. In the call, a specific dollar amount was mentioned like numerous times. Okay? Numerous times. Then I turned around and had that conversation with Steve, again, a couple of times. That dollar amount was listed again. All this week in my, like, social media feed, like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, have been little encouraging things about this specific dollar amount. And have you noticed how sometimes they turn on when you haven't said, like, hey, whatever? Happens to me all the time. Okay, what do I do now? Cut both strip sets, blah, blah, blah. So the 3 half strip sets together lengthwise. Yeah. So one of these gets set aside. And this piece gets set aside. All right, ready? Back to the sewing machine. I'll tell you what movie I've been wanting to watch lately that I really love. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was a really sweet movie. Was Being Julia? Being Julia? Yeah. Where the girl cooks through the joy of Julia Child's cookbook for a year. It's a sweet movie. Based on a book, based on a true story. But she was a riot. Julia Childs was a riot. I miss shows like that. I miss stuff like that on TV. We were watching something the other day. Just, I don't know. The humor is not funny. The storyline is, you know, I don't know. It's just sad. The stuff that, you know, that we grew up watching was just so much better. Like, it really involved, you know, like talent or creativity or imagination to come up with. You know, now so much of it is just on repeat. It's just regurgitating all that stuff that we used to love. Come up with something new and original. Sorry. Hang on a second. I gotta get off my soapbox. Okay. Now, I think I would remember this from the last one, but whatever. Alright, let's press these again. Okay. Now what we do, boys and girls, is okay. Whoops. Now we're going to go 4.5-inch segments. So I think what we did the other day was first, let's at least square up one side. Okay, now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.5 right there. And then half again. And then one more time. Gosh. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Completely missed the mark. All right, it's okay. I wasn't paying attention to where my blade was, and I just went too fast. Tooties. Oh. All right, now, Angela, pay attention. Okay, now we're going to sew these 3 together like this. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let us do that at the sewing machine. And try not to mess it up. The great thing about sewing these guys all in with the seams going in the same direction. Let's do it this way. Yes, they just nest up perfectly. Okay. Okay, now let's put the last one on. And she goes, flowers up. Mm-hmm. The thing about this one, it's fast. Fast project. Although I think I think my seam's off. Just a smidge. It's okay. It's alright. The rest of them are really good. But that last one, I was sewing. Tell me if you've ever had this experience. So I was sewing, the seams are nested, and when I did the first pass, the seam, I was sewing down, so the seams were flapped down. But when I did the other one, I wasn't paying attention, and I nested them, and I was sewing against the seam. And so I had to obviously hold it down, but do you feel like that makes you less accurate? Obviously it did for me, because one side is perfect and the other is not. Okay, block number 2. So that's hello. Second one. First one. Now the question is, we won't know until we get all the blocks done. But would you do it like that, or would you do it like this? And alternate the blocks? Has kind of a nice flow this way, doesn't it? Okay, well, we'll see. We'll put the finished blocks up on the board when we get them done. Okay, have a fantastic evening. Have a fabulous morning tomorrow. And remember, grab an extra cup of coffee, or a cup of tea, or a cup of juice, or whatever. And join us at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time for our Sew Along Live. Bring whatever project you're working on. We'll chit-chat. I'll make some heads or tails of this one. I got to pull the pattern out. I got to find that pattern. And the ones I've already sewn. I've already sewn some blocks. So I'll pull that out tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. live right here. And we'll see you and we'll chit-chat. Grab a chair. It's going to be fun. It's always fabulous. Okay, I love you guys. And remember, Only a 1/4 inch seam. See you tomorrow. Bye.